because I'm very much at a but, again, some aspects of it are neat, but when the story is the whole film kind of goes. Welcome back to another first time watching video. This time it was John Wick number 3. And I gotta say, this was pretty much what I was expecting exactly. In the last video, I assumed what it was going to kind of be like. It seems like the plot is just John Wick has to kill a bunch of people. And that's the story. That's all that there is. He got excommunicated at the end of the other video, at the end of the other movie, because he shot a guy on one of the continental grounds or whatever in one of the hotels, which is fully against the assassin's rules. And so it's like, all right, cool. So everybody's gonna kill him. He should have been technically killed right there, as they point out many times in the film when they have the chick going around and trying to enforce the rules and whatnot. And like, so there's some things in this film that I thought were pretty neat, but like they could have. I feel like this franchise needs a prequel of some kind. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of making a prequel out of stuff, but if we want to get to the nitty gritty of the history of this type of thing, I think that could be interesting because, throughout this film, even I was seeing some similarities with Assassin's Creed, the games and stuff, and also a little bit of similarities with James Bond, and not entirely. I mean, like the very on a much smaller scale in the terms of that, but they could have definitely made this franchise into something very unique while having homage or taking inspiration from other successful stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff right there. I mean, in John Wick 2 and sort of in this one too, like when he's picking out his weapons and he's checking them out and everything. One, I think that's a cool thing that he's actually like checking how the weapons feel in his hands, the weight and how quickly can he reload or change the things. That's a good thing to check when you're in the middle of a fight, especially with multiple people all the time. And instead of drinks being a focus, it's like guns are the focus and all these different aspects of fighting. And there could have been a lot of things that they could do in this franchise to make it more unique. Now, at some point in this film, he gets his finger chopped. He gets his finger chopped off and branded or whatever. But in Assassin's Creed, they have to get their in the original Assassin's Creed anyway. Later they changed it, but you had to lose your ring finger so that you can have the function of the blade work, as well as that shows your commitment to their creed in the first place. So there's some interesting things with that. So then, just going back into John Wick 3, I really don't have much to say about it because this film is so short in that aspect. Like, it's just he's excommunicated. He's got a very small amount of time before the hit is fully out on him, and there's the price on his head and everything. I think there's like maybe an hour or two. I think he had to get everything sorted before he before the price was on him. They're showing all these assassins getting ready to get him essentially, and it seems like everybody and their mother is an assassin in some way, shape, or form. The homeless are assassins, you guys. The this other person down the street, the ice cream man, whatever, they're all assassins. It kind of reminds me of Hot Fuzz as well, because in that film they have like, oh, the plant owner, the person with the baby is like everybody's in on it, it seems like. And it's like, okay, like 90% of the citizens in this town are assassins. Okay, or they work for the organization in some way, shape, or form, I guess. All right, whatever. That's the world they want. Sure. And this starts right after John Wick 2. So he's still injured from the last film, like right away. So I'm already kind of like, oof, how, like, I already have a huge, doubt with his body's ability to keep on going. He hasn't really had a chance to eat much, sleep much, and he's constantly fighting other like strong people and taking quite the beating himself throughout the entire film. And you see that especially by toward the end when he's fighting those two sword guys who are kind of fans of him and sort of taking it easy on him, giving him a chance to fight still, because he is at a disadvantage from having fought so many people for so long with all this. But it's like, I don't know, something about it. Just I'm like, okay, I don't really have any worry that he's going to get killed at any point, and not just because he's the main character. I mean, you could still have your character in peril and still have them, not die, but because he's taken such a beating this whole time and he keeps on fighting, and all these other people are at tip top shape while he's injured, he's still able to always beat them. It just kind of annoys me. Just really annoys me. And again, they do some Assassin's Creed things that are better than what they did in the Assassin's Creed film. I think there's a point in this one where there's like some kids walking in front of him and a couple other assassins, and he just kind of disappears into the crowd. And that's the thing you could do in Assassin's Creed. And I'm like, okay, this could have been like kind of a cool modern take on that, like in its own way. And not actually doing Assassin's Creed, but making its own franchise with this kind of stuff. But like the focus is just on the gun fu stuff, which is done really well. Do not get me wrong, guys. Again, seriously, the choreography, the stuff they do with the guns, so much of it is really cool. A lot of the action scenes are really cool, but they are just, there's not as much substance to go with it. And it's just that's what brings it down for me. Is that the story is abysmal. There's not much there. They imply a lot of history. They go visit that one guy. He's with Halle Berry, and it's there's something you could pull here that could make it really engaging, but they just kind of they just shoot everybody, attack everybody, and that's the story. So there's really just not much to pull from. And even the stuff with Halle Berry, like everybody he goes to that helps him seems like they have no reason to help him. They tell him that he just goes, yeah, but yeah, you should help me though, and then they do, and then they get fucked for it. I don't understand. I feel like they could have done other stuff here that maybe would have been better. I don't know. Like again, there's a lot of concepts in here that could form into a really cool type of franchise. It just doesn't come together for me. The stuff with Halle Berry, eh, I don't really care. He shot my dog. It is kind of like an extreme look in the camera meta of like, yeah, we get it. The dog got shot. Oh no, so we're gonna go AWOL and kill dozens of other people in retaliation to it. And don't get me wrong, I'm a pet owner. I get it, but the way it was just seemed so meta in the movie as it did that, and I'm just like, I know, I get that. So, all right, like I wish there was something else they could have done to drive the story forward, but it's just shoot more people, shoot more people. I'm not sure how everybody else thinks about this film. If it's like, super, like if everybody loves this film or also kind of sees it as not that great. The last thoughts I guess I'll put on it, because I feel like I'm repeating myself now, is that, again, the camera work is great. The characters in it seem interesting. I wouldn't mind getting to know more about a lot of these characters here and there. The guy at the end that survives, the king of the streets or whatever, like, the Morpheus or Morbius, whatever. I'm getting the names confused now with other current things going on. That's something. I guess there's gonna be a John Wick 4 for some reason. I don't know. John Wick surviving the fall off the building. He's fucking toast. He's broken. He's dead. He's dead. He's just a zombie now. He's just zombie John Wick. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think about the film in the comments below, because I'm very much at a but again, some aspects of it are neat, but when the story is the whole film kind of goes later.